Hello, good morning, and welcome to the next video tutorial in the series that I've been doing on decentralized exchanges or DEXs. In this video tutorial, I'm going to talk to you about some exciting news that was just announced by Liquid Driver, and that is that you can take your linSPIRIT, and I'm going to go into detail on what each of these is. You can take your linSPIRIT, remove it from the legacy pool, and then put it into this new liquid staking or staking derivative style pool where there are a ton of benefits. And with the staking derivative that you receive, I think they refer to it as a receipt, it's basically a token that you can then take and put to work for you elsewhere. And I'm going to show you exactly where you're going to do that. And I'm going to highlight that it is not available yet. So you can't do it yet, but it is coming soon. So you want to make sure that you transition over for more than one reason. And we'll dive into that here in just a second. So the abbreviated version of this is you're going to go to the linSPIRIT tab. You're going to withdraw your stake from the linSPIRIT fee distributor. And you're going to move everything over here to the linSPIRIT auto compounder. And again, I'm going to go into detail as to why you want to do that. And then you can go to Market XYZ when it's available. It is not available yet, but you're going to be able to use it to borrow MAI or FTM. All right, for those of you that want a little bit more detail around what exactly slinSPIRIT is and how you get it, and how you get Spirit or how you get linSPIRIT in order to get slinSPIRIT, I'm going to go over all of those details right now, including showing you how to add it to your wallet, how to add the token to your wallet, because there is a new contract address that you're going to need. So as always, before we dive in, remember, do your own research, make your own choices. Do not dive into something that you haven't fully vetted. Make sure that you remember that this is for entertainment, educational purposes only, and nothing that I say here, I'm not responsible for any fees, tokens, assets, fiat that you lose. And again, you are doing everything at your own risk. So be careful out there, folks. All right, so let's go ahead and before we dive into linSPIRIT, I'm going to click on the link here. You can see that it's called Liquid Spirit, and that's what the lin stands for. So Liquid Spirit. It's a wrapped version of enSPIRIT. And so the question then becomes, well, wait a minute, how do I get enSPIRIT? So to understand that, we need to come over here to Spirit Swap. Now, Spirit Swap is where if we enter the app, you'll notice that there's a tab over here on the left-hand side called enSPIRIT. When I click on that, it's going to bring me to this screen here. Now, in order to get enSPIRIT, which is the governance token of Spirit Swap, and it's all about voting and being able to boost your farms, you can take, and let's walk through it. I've got 3.64 Spirit, so I'm going to say, yeah, let's lock it up. I'm going to increase the lock amount, and this is going to lock things up for 4 years until 8 January 2026. Let's click confirm. We'll go ahead and pay the fee. And this is how you generate enSPIRIT. Again, enSPIRIT, the governance token for Spirit Swap. And think of some of the benefits as you can boost your farming, Spirit farming rewards. It allows you to vote. You can see the voting model over here to the right and what people are either currently voting on or what's been voted on. And then you can vote to boost your farm, which as soon as this transaction completes, we're going to go ahead and do that. You can see locking is pending. So it's going to lock those 3.62 Spirit up along with the other Spirit that I've got locked up, and it becomes enSPIRIT. Now, the key thing to take away here is enSPIRIT is non-transferable, meaning once I've locked it up here, right, it's sort of going to stay locked up here. Now, you're going to earn an APR on the enSPIRIT that you've got locked up, and you can see it's 21.56%. And so those 3.54 Spirit that I just locked up came from a claim right here. Now, granted, Spirit is only pennies on the dollar right now, so you can see the Spirit balance. This should change, and it looks like this is taking quite some time. Whoops, we don't want to do that. We want to do this here, and let's see what we got going on. All right, so it looks like it's just pending here. So while it's pending, let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that you can do with your enSPIRIT. Because if I step back over here to the Liquid Driver site, you'll notice that linSPIRIT is a wrapped version of enSPIRIT. Now, I'm also going to touch on this. It says you can take your spirit that we just locked up over there for enSPIRIT. Well, I could have converted it here, although right now you're going to get a better rate over on Beethoven, and we'll take a look at that. You'll see this pop up from time to time, and all this is saying is, yeah, instead of using Liquid Driver to do this transaction where you're taking your spirit, right, and you want to flip it to linSPIRIT, right? And again, it's just a liquid version of enSPIRIT. And what it means by liquid version, which is, kind of the entire premise behind the Liquid Driver site, that keyword liquid, meaning, and when I say liquid staking or staking derivative, those are synonymous terms. So what you're doing is you're taking your spirit and you're converting it into linSPIRIT, right? And so once it's linSPIRIT, it's actually liquid in spirit, right? So it's liquid spirit, meaning I can then take that linSPIRIT, which is the staking derivative, and then I can use it for something else. And what you can do is right here, you could stake in the linSPIRIT fee distributor. However, you won't want to do that right now. One reason is, you can take a look here, the APR is 54%, and every time you claim, you're going to end up paying a fee in Phantom FTM. Over here, and again, this just launched about 3 days ago, they've got the linSPIRIT Auto Compounder. Now, for those of you stateside in the US, this is a huge improvement, because if it's auto compounding for you and you're not claiming it, that is not a taxable event, right? So if it's auto compounding, that is not a taxable event. If I'm constantly claiming my rewards, every time you make that claim, that is a capital gain. It is a gain on the capital that you have invested, and you will be paying a capital gains tax rate on that. So again, make sure you vet this with your accountant or attorney or whatever, but that's my understanding. So we're auto compounding over here at 72.92%. And when I first dropped in my little batch of linSPIRIT, I think it was right around 1855 a couple days ago. And you can see that I'm already up to 1861. And this is happening auto magically. Now, if I wanted to add more linSPIRIT, I could. So again, to kind of take a step back, let's see if this is done over here. Okay, so this is finally done. So you can see that I've got 46 spirit locked until 8 January 2026. Now, I could also revoke that, meaning I'm going to pull all that spirit out. I'm no longer going to be able to boost my pool, and because I'll no longer have the enSPIRIT. So again, you start with spirit, you can do enSPIRIT, right? But remember, this is non-transferable. So there's like nothing I can do with it other than let it sit here. I'm getting 21%, and I can vote with it, right? So we transfer back over here. The other option with your spirit is to turn it into linSPIRIT, which you're getting 72.92% on a liquid wrapped version of spirit. Now, let's take a look over here. Click on this link. It's going to take us over to Beethoven. And you can see right here, we could take our spirit and we could trade it for linSPIRIT. Again, if I had any spirit, you could do it here. And then that linSPIRIT, you would just come right back over here and stake it into the auto compounder. Again, there's nothing for you to do once you place it in here in terms of claiming your rewards. So let's get to the next part, right? That whole liquid, the staking derivative that we receive. So when you stake your linSPIRIT here in the auto compounder, not over here on the fee distributor, but in the auto compounder, you're going to receive what we refer to as slinSPIRIT. In other words, staked linSPIRIT as a receipt token. So receipt token is another way of saying staking derivative, right? Liquid staking derivative is going to be this receipt token that you receive. Now, when I first dropped my linSPIRIT in here, I immediately went into my MetaMask wallet looking for my slinSPIRIT. Well, as you can imagine, it wasn't there. And the reason it's not there is because you have to add it to your MetaMask wallet. So now if I come into my MetaMask wallet, take a look at the assets and go all the way down here to the bottom, you can see that that was the first batch of, or I should say, that's the slinSPIRIT that I have received so far. Now, this is also important because the slinSPIRIT that you stake, or I should say, let me correction here. The linSPIRIT that you stake, when you stake it, that is what you're receiving slinSPIRIT on. So 1721 was the initial stake. And so that's what I've received slinSPIRIT for. So all of the additional linSPIRIT that's been staked here is, I'm not receiving slinSPIRIT for that, right? Because I guess these are rewards here. It looks like this has gone up pretty quickly, in fact. So what is that, 1721, so 140? So it looks like I've picked up 140, and that seems a little bit odd to me because this has only been on for about 3 days. But as you can see, that initial stake is what I received the slinSPIRIT for. All of the rewards, the daily return and the APY and all that, is being auto-compounded, but it is not increasing the slinSPIRIT for me. All right, so I see it in the wallet here. However, if I was to come over to Chrome and we were to take a look here at MetaMask, and if we were on the Phantom network, you can see that it's not here. So how do we do it? Well, we're going to go to import tokens. We're going to drop in the contract address, and the contract address, along with some links to some good documentation on linSPIRIT, Spirit, and that contract address right there to add it is in the video description below. So I'd click Add Custom Token, and that is my slinSPIRIT. All right, so now we know about Spirit. We know how we can use it to get in Spirit and lock that up, but it's non-transferable. So yeah, we're going to earn an APR on it. However, we can use it for voting and boosting pools on Spirit Swap. When we come over to Liquid Driver, you could also take your Spirit, right, if you didn't want to do in Spirit, and turn it into linSPIRIT. And then you drop it here in the auto compounder, and then auto magically multiple times a day, the rewards are going to be collected, auto compounded in, not a taxable event for those of you in the States. And now we get this staking derivative, which is slinSPIRIT. So what can you do with that? You can go ahead and go to Market XYZ to borrow MAI or FTM. However, this was not live as of earlier this morning. So let me go ahead and let's see what we've got here. Let's launch market on Phantom and see what we've got. So they're live on Polygon. They're live on Phantom. And what you're supposed to be able to do at some point here is with that slinSPIRIT, you can then leverage that to buy. Now, pay close attention here. Smart contract risks exist, and this market is in beta mode, right? So it's probably not going to be until this goes alpha maybe where you're actually able to leverage that slinSPIRIT. But again, this is where you're going to come do that. All right, well, that is going to do it for this quick video tutorial on linSPIRIT Auto Compounder. We covered a lot of ground. You know how to add the token to your wallet. You know the different uses for Spirit now. In Spirit, if you want to boost your stuff on Spirit Swap, or linSPIRIT to get a liquid version of inSPIRIT, right? All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this is going to help you out. And as always, I hope to see you in the next video.